The USS Sterett also comes equipped with surface vessel torpedo tubes for anti-submarine warfare, and where the real firepower begins is here at the missile deck. This missile system works hand in hand with the Aegis Combat System, which uses computers and radars to track and guide weapons to destroy enemy targets.
This warship can track 100 targets at once, decide which ones are threats, and shoot them down in less time than it takes you to blink. But here's what's insane. It does all of this automatically without a human even pulling the trigger. Because what you're looking at isn't just a ship with missiles. It's a floating supercomputer with weapons. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how this technology works and why it's completely changing naval warfare. Look, modern naval warfare isn't like the old days where ships would line up and fire cannons at each other. Today, the biggest threat to a warship isn't another ship, it's missiles. Anti-ship missiles can travel at supersonic speeds, skim just above the water, and hit their target before anyone even sees them coming. Some of these missiles travel at Mach 3. That's over 2,000 miles per hour. So how do you defend against something that fast? The answer is a weapons system so advanced that it can react faster than any human possibly could. In this video, I'm going to break down the Aegis Combat System, the most advanced naval defense system ever built. We'll cover how it works, what ships use it, and some absolutely mind-blowing facts about how this technology can shoot down missiles traveling faster than a speeding bullet. I've spent weeks researching this, going through technical documents and naval reports, so you're getting the full story on one of the most impressive pieces of military technology ever created. But first, let me explain why this system even exists in the first place. The problem. Why ships need this? So before we talk about how this system works, we need to understand the problem it was designed to solve. Because back in the 1970s and 80s, the US Navy realized they had a serious problem. Anti-ship missiles were getting too fast and too numerous for traditional defense systems to handle. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union developed a strategy called saturation attack. The idea was simple but terrifying. Launch so many missiles at a ship that even if it shoots down most of them, a few will still get through. And it only takes 1 or 2 missile hits to sink a warship. Traditional defense systems at the time could only track a handful of targets and engage them one at a time. If 20 missiles were coming at you simultaneously, you were in serious trouble. In 1987, the USS Stark was hit by 2 Iraqi Exocet missiles in the Persian Gulf. The ship's defenses never even fired because the crew didn't have enough time to react. 37 sailors died, and the ship was nearly sunk. That same year, a British destroyer, HMS Sheffield, was sunk by a single Exocet missile during the Falklands War. The ship's radar didn't detect the missile until it was too late. So the US Navy realized they needed a system that could track dozens of targets simultaneously, identify which ones were threats, prioritize them, and engage them automatically, all in a matter of seconds. And that's exactly what they built. What is Aegis? All right, so what exactly is the Aegis Combat System, and why is it so special? Because Aegis isn't just a weapon, it's an entire integrated combat system that controls everything on the ship. Aegis stands for Aegis Weapon System, named after the shield of Zeus in Greek mythology. And just like that mythical shield, it's designed to protect the ship from any threat. The system was developed by the US Navy in the 1970s and first deployed in 1983 on the USS Ticonderoga. At the heart of Aegis is a powerful phased array radar system called SPY-1. This radar can track over 100 targets simultaneously at ranges of over 200 miles. But here's what makes it special. Traditional radar systems have to physically rotate to scan the sky. That takes time. The SPY-1 radar doesn't move at all. Instead, it uses electronic beam steering, which means it can instantly shift its focus from one target to another without any mechanical movement. Imagine you're trying to watch 100 different people in a crowded room. A traditional radar is like turning your head to look at each person one at a time. The SPY-1 radar is like having 100 pairs of eyes that can all look in different directions simultaneously. But the radar is only part of the system. Aegis also includes incredibly powerful computers that process all that radar data in real time. These computers can identify what each target is, whether it's a friendly aircraft, a commercial airliner, or an incoming missile. They calculate the trajectory, speed, and threat level of each target. And then they decide which weapons to use to engage each threat. So, Aegis isn't just a radar or a missile launcher. It's an entire battle management system that can fight a war by itself if it has to. The weapons. How it shoots down missiles.
Get your ass to the lead hill. Sir. Fire!
Okay, so Aegis can track 100 targets at once. But how does it actually shoot them down? Because tracking a missile is one thing. Hitting it is something else entirely. Aegis-equipped ships carry vertical launch systems, VLS, with dozens of missile cells. These cells can hold different types of missiles depending on the mission. The primary air defense missile is the standard missile family, SM-2, SM-3, and SM-6. Let's say an enemy launches an anti-ship missile at an Aegis destroyer. Here's what happens. Step 1. The SPY-1 radar detects the missile launch from over 200 miles away. Step 2. The Aegis computer system immediately identifies it as a threat and calculates its trajectory. Step 3. The system determines which missile to use and which VLS cell to fire from. Step 4. A standard missile launches from the VLS cell. The entire process from detection to launch takes less than 10 seconds. Step 5. The missile flies toward the incoming threat, guided by the ship's radar. As it gets closer, the missile's own radar takes over for the final intercept. Step 6. The standard missile either hits the incoming missile directly, called hit-to-kill, or explodes near it, destroying it with shrapnel. The SM-6 missile can engage targets at ranges of over 150 miles and at altitudes up to 110,000 feet. That's higher than most commercial airliners fly, and it can hit targets traveling at Mach 3 or faster. So when I say this system can shoot down missiles faster than you can blink, I'm not exaggerating. From detection to intercept, the entire process takes less than 30 seconds. Automatic mode. The ship fights by itself. Now here's where things get really interesting and a little bit scary, because Aegis has a mode called Auto Special, where the system can engage threats completely automatically without any human input. In Auto Special mode, the Aegis system detects incoming threats, identifies them, prioritizes them, and fires missiles to intercept them, all without a human pulling the trigger. This mode exists because modern anti-ship missiles are so fast that humans simply can't react quickly enough. Remember, some of these missiles travel at over 2,000 miles per hour. At that speed, a missile can cover the distance from the horizon to your ship in less than 60 seconds. By the time a human sees the threat, analyzes it, and decides to fire, it's already too late. During the USS Stark incident I mentioned earlier, the crew had less than 30 seconds from detection to impact. They didn't have time to react. With Aegis in Auto Special mode, the system would have detected the missiles, identified them as threats, and fired interceptors automatically, all within 10 seconds. Now this raises some serious questions. Are we comfortable with machines making life or death decisions without human oversight? What if the system makes a mistake and shoots down a friendly aircraft or a civilian airliner? In 1988, the USS Vincennes, an Aegis cruiser, shot down Iran Air Flight 655, a civilian airliner, killing all 290 people on board. The Aegis system identified the aircraft as a potential threat, and the crew made the decision to fire. It was a tragic mistake caused by a combination of human error and system limitations. So while auto special mode makes the ship incredibly effective at defending itself, it also means putting a lot of trust in a computer system to make the right decisions in a split second. Ballistic missile defense.
Coming up, a United States Navy frigate has been attacked in the Persian Gulf. There was a local man on board that Navy frigate. We'll have a live report coming up.
But Aegis doesn't just shoot down cruise missiles and aircraft. It can also shoot down ballistic missiles, and that's even more impressive. Because ballistic missiles are way harder to intercept than cruise missiles. They travel faster, higher, and follow a different trajectory. Starting in the 2000s, the US Navy upgraded some Aegis ships with ballistic missile defense (BMD) capabilities. These ships use a special version of the standard missile called the SM-3, which is designed specifically to intercept ballistic missiles in space. Here's how it works. Let's say North Korea launches a ballistic missile toward Japan. An Aegis BMD ship in the Sea of Japan detects the launch with its SPY-1 radar. The system calculates the missile's trajectory and determines where it will be in a few minutes. The ship launches an SM-3 missile, which flies up into space. Yes, space. And intercepts the ballistic missile during its mid-course phase before it re-enters the atmosphere. The SM-3 doesn't even carry an explosive warhead. It destroys the target through sheer kinetic energy, basically by ramming into it at thousands of miles per hour. In 2008, an Aegis cruiser successfully shot down a malfunctioning US spy satellite that was falling back to Earth. The satellite was traveling at over 17,000 miles per hour, and the SM-3 hit it perfectly. That's like shooting a bullet with another bullet, while both bullets are moving at supersonic speeds. So Aegis isn't just a ship defense system. It's also a missile defense shield that can protect entire countries from ballistic missile attacks. Who has Aegis? All right, so we know Aegis is incredibly powerful, but who actually has this system? Because the US isn't the only country using Aegis anymore. Several allied nations have adopted the system for their own navies. The US Navy operates over 90 Aegis-equipped ships, including Ticonderoga-class cruisers, 22 ships, Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, over 70 ships, Zumwalt-class destroyers, 3 ships with a modified version. But the US has also sold Aegis to close allies. Japan operates several Aegis destroyers, including the Congo-class and the Otago-class. They use these ships to defend against North Korean missile threats. South Korea has 3 Sejong the Great-class destroyers with Aegis. These are some of the most heavily armed destroyers in the world, with 128 vertical launch cells. Spain operates 5 Aegis frigates. Norway has 5 Aegis frigates. Australia is building 3 Aegis destroyers called the Hobart-class. South Korea's Sejong the Great-class destroyers are particularly impressive. They carry more missiles than most US destroyers and are specifically designed to counter threats from North Korea. So Aegis isn't just an American system anymore. It's become the gold standard for naval air defense around the world. The future of Aegis. So we've talked about what Aegis can do today. But what about the future? Because the threats are evolving, and Aegis has to evolve with them. The biggest new threat is hypersonic missiles, weapons that travel at Mach 5 or faster and can maneuver unpredictably. These missiles are incredibly difficult to intercept because they're so fast and can change direction mid-flight. The US Navy is developing new versions of Aegis to counter hypersonic threats. This includes upgraded radar systems that can track faster-moving targets, new interceptor missiles like the SM-6 Block IB, which is designed specifically for hypersonic threats, directed energy weapons, yes, lasers, that can shoot down missiles at the speed of light. The Navy has already tested laser weapons on Aegis destroyers. These lasers can shoot down drones and small missiles for just a few dollars per shot, compared to millions of dollars for a standard missile. The Navy is also integrating artificial intelligence into Aegis to make it even faster and more effective at identifying and engaging threats. So Aegis isn't standing still. It's constantly being upgraded to stay ahead of new threats, and it's going to remain the backbone of naval air defense for decades to come. The real power of Aegis. But here's what really makes Aegis special, and it's something most people don't think about. Because Aegis isn't just about defending one ship, it's about defending an entire fleet. Aegis ships can share radar data with each other through a system called Cooperative Engagement Capability, CEC. This means that if one ship detects a threat, all the other ships in the fleet can see it too, instantly. Let's say you have a carrier strike group with 1 aircraft carrier and 4 Aegis destroyers. If an enemy launches 50 missiles at the carrier, all 5 ships can see all 50 missiles on their screens. They can coordinate their defense, with each ship engaging different targets to maximize efficiency. It's like having 5 ships act as one giant defensive network. During exercises, Aegis ships have successfully defended against simulated attacks involving dozens of missiles coming from multiple directions simultaneously. The system can prioritize which missiles are the biggest threats and engage them first, while also making sure no missile gets through. So Aegis doesn't just make one ship more powerful, it makes the entire fleet more powerful by turning them into a coordinated defensive network. So there you have it, the Aegis Combat System, the most advanced naval defense system ever built. It can track over 100 targets simultaneously, engage multiple threats at once, and shoot down missiles traveling faster than a speeding bullet, all in less time than it takes you to blink. And the craziest part, this technology has been around since the 1980s. Imagine what the classified next-generation systems can do. But here's the thing, Aegis is just one piece of the incredible technology that makes modern warships so powerful. There are so many other fascinating systems out there, from electromagnetic railguns to laser weapons to stealth technology. So if you want to learn more about the cutting-edge technology that's shaping naval warfare, click on this video right here, where I break down the most advanced weapons systems being developed right now, including some that sound like they're straight out of science fiction. Trust me, once you start learning about naval technology, you'll never look at warships the same way again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.